I met Emily during my last year in college. She wasn't just another pretty face. There was something about the way she carried herself, confident but kind, charming without trying. We clicked fast. Our connection wasn't just physical, it felt like something deeper. We made it through graduation, through her first job, my second layoff, her dad's heart surgery. Somewhere in all that chaos, we carved out a quiet corner of the world for ourselves. It wasn't perfect, but it was ours. I drove an old Corolla. She loved that car. We had this habit of parking by the lake after stressful days, just laying in the back seat, music low, fingers tangled. That's where we had our first real conversation about the future, careers, kids, the life we wanted. The back seat became our refuge, our reset button. It meant something to both of us. Or at least I thought it did. I got a job at a mid-tier tech firm and Emily landed in marketing for a rising startup. That's where she met Tyler. She talked about him casually at first, always in the context of work. He's just funny, creative, a bit wild but harmless. I didn't think much of it. Trust wasn't something I handed out lightly, but with Emily, I never felt the need to question it. She gave me no reason. Until things changed. I didn't notice it all at once. It was slow. Her schedule got packed, her texts got shorter, her kisses colder. She started dressing up more, checking her phone constantly, laughing at messages she wouldn't show me. She brushed off my questions with a smile, said I was being dramatic, that I needed to trust her. And I did. Maybe too much. I was planning to propose. I bought the ring 6 weeks before everything shifted. I kept it hidden in the glove box, tucked under the manual in a velvet box. I had this whole thing mapped out. Our favorite takeout, a drive to the lake, candles in the back seat. I imagined her saying yes and curling into me like she always did, whispering promises. But the timing never felt right. I kept postponing, telling myself she was just stressed, that things would return to normal. But the more I waited, the more distance grew. We still had moments, like when she fell asleep on my chest during a thunderstorm, or the time she baked me a cake after I botched a presentation. But those moments started to feel like borrowed time. She wasn't really there. Her mind was somewhere else, with someone else, even if I couldn't prove it yet. Looking back, I see all the signs. They weren't subtle. I just chose to ignore them. I wanted to believe that what we had was still intact, that love could power through neglect, through silence. But something had shifted. I didn't know when it happened exactly, but I knew that the back seat, once our sanctuary, had turned into a quiet reminder that something sacred was slipping away right under my nose. Emily's patterns changed faster than I could adjust. She wasn't just busy. She was elsewhere even when she was right next to me. She kept her phone face down, password changed, and every conversation about work now included Tyler's name. His jokes, his opinions, how he understood marketing better than anyone she'd worked with. I nodded, played along, but something in my chest tightened every time his name came up. She started staying late more often. Once she said she was going out with coworkers after a client pitch, but when I checked her location, she was nowhere near the bar she mentioned. I didn't confront her right away. I wanted proof, not assumptions. Doubt can eat you alive, and I needed to be sure I wasn't just insecure or paranoid. The next morning while she showered, I checked her deleted photos. Buried deep was one of her and Tyler, taken in a mirror. His arm was around her waist, her head tilted just slightly against him. It didn't scream cheating, but it didn't belong in a work folder either. I stared at it too long, questioning every smile, every excuse. But I still didn't say anything. Part of me was afraid of hearing the truth out loud. I started noticing smaller details. The faint cologne scent on her scarf that wasn't mine. The missed calls she wouldn't explain. The way she flinched when I tried to hold her hand. Her energy shifted from warm to indifferent, like she was physically present but emotionally gone. And still, I made excuses for her. I stopped talking about the proposal. The ring stayed in the glove box, untouched, now heavy with irony. Instead of planning a future, I was dissecting the present. I became quiet, withdrawn, always watching, always waiting for the next red flag. She accused me of acting distant, said I was the one pulling away. The manipulation was subtle but sharp. Gaslighting at its finest. I smiled through it, said I was just tired. Truth is, I was exhausted from pretending I didn't see the cracks forming all around me. I couldn't sleep. I'd lie awake, replaying conversations, matching timelines, trying to make sense of her lies. But everything pointed in one direction. One night, she left her laptop open. Notifications from Tyler popped up. Inside jokes, late-night missed you messages, a photo of him holding her coffee cup. It wasn't explicit, but it was intimate. Too intimate. I stared at the screen like it was a confession. My chest felt hollow, my hands numb. Still, I didn't blow up. I closed the laptop, walked into the bathroom, and splashed cold water on my face like it would somehow wash away what I knew. I told myself I needed one more sign, one undeniable truth. I wasn't ready to leave on suspicion alone. I needed a moment so clear it would silence the denial once and for all. I didn't know it yet, but that moment was coming, closer than I ever expected. She told me she had a late dinner with a client and wouldn't be home until after 10. Her tone was calm, too casual, rehearsed. I didn't argue. I just said okay. I waited until she left, then followed from a distance. I kept my lights off, far enough not to be noticed. I wasn't proud of it, but at that point pride didn't matter. What mattered was truth. She drove straight to the lake, the place that used to be ours. I pulled off to the side, hidden just enough to stay out of sight. A few minutes later, another car pulled in. Tyler stepped out like he belonged there. My stomach dropped. It wasn't shock. It was confirmation. She stepped out next, smiling. That smile. The same one she used to save for me. She was wearing that red dress she hadn't touched in months. She used to wear it on our dates when she wanted to feel special. Now it was for him. They didn't waste time. She leaned into him like it was second nature. They laughed, held hands. It was sickening how natural they looked together. I watched as they slid into her back seat. The same one we used to spend hours in, whispering dreams and promises. The windows fogged within minutes. Their shadows moved in rhythm, a distorted reflection of what I once had. I didn't move. I didn't cry. I felt nothing and everything at once. My chest was tight, my throat dry. I gripped the steering wheel like it could hold me together. I wanted to break something. Scream. But I couldn't. I just stared as my world crumbled right in front of me, one kiss at a time. They stayed there for what felt like forever. I couldn't look away. This wasn't just cheating. This was betrayal carved into the place we built together. The backseat wasn't just a location. It was our history. And now it belonged to them. Eventually they emerged, her hair messy, makeup smudged, still smiling. Tyler kissed her one last time before getting in his car and driving off. She stayed behind for a moment, fixing her dress, checking her reflection. Then she drove away, like nothing happened. I sat there long after she was gone. The silence louder than any argument we ever had. That spot, once filled with memories, now felt contaminated. I couldn't shake the image of them, tangled in each other, where we used to be happy. That night didn't just prove she cheated. It destroyed everything I thought was real. And the worst part? I didn't even have the energy to confront her. I just sat there, knowing the version of me that believed in us had died in that back seat.